Scientist.
We've taken a chicken stock, some classic sherry, and we put it in a centrifuge.
Artist.
I knew how to roast a chicken, but I didn't know why. I didn't know what was going on. I was looking for more answers.
Craftsman.
People say, oh, you have this immersion circulator. Equipment, technology has always been a part of the kitchen.
Award-winning wizard of the modernist cuisine, Wylie Dufresne puts it all on the table. Ah, you made it.
Hello, hello.
Great to see you.
Good to see you, my friend.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good.
You
Oh,
hungry?
you brought everything.
We brought everything. Yeah, we're gonna have some eggs today. Poached egg in a consommé. It's actually sort of a very classic French consommé dish.
So today we were shooting with Wylie, and he came with that big box full of goodies, everything he needed in terms of ingredients for his dish. Well, we need the cocktail now.
All right, yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna get the ice.
Oh, excellent.
And
I'm gonna
you're
start.
in charge of.
I'm gonna look
of
for
making the cocktail.
Well, this is a fairly simple cocktail. We have a Pimm's cup.
So what is Pimm's cup?
It's a closely guarded secret known only to 6 people. We're
not
not
part
one
of
of
the
the
six,
6.
yeah.
We're definitely not one of the 6. But it's delicious. Here, why don't you taste just a little bit? I think it's really delicious. 4
it's
ounces.
nice. Very interesting flavors.
of rhubarb.
Complex.
Yeah, it's tasty, right?
Yeah.
So we have our gin, we have our Pimm's,
Yeah.
a little bit of lemon juice for some acidity, and then we have a rhubarb mix. I mean, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the right time of year for us now. We're going into a rhubarb season, so we're just beginning to get this at the green market.
You want me to do it? You okay?
I'm okay.
I'll drink it.
You'll drink it. All right. You want to put some
Ice.
some ice in there?
Yeah. Okay. And
There we go. And we have these straws.
the straws. Well,
Santé.
Cheers, santé. This is very refreshing.
Nice,
huh?
very bright.
Very nice,
right?
very
feels
bright.
bright. You know, feels like on a
You
hot
don't feel
day.
the
It'd be
alcohol at
perfect.
all.
2 or 3, maybe you do.
We'll see when we are at number 5. Right?
Okay.
We'll definitely see the effect. I mean, obviously you're American.
Yes. I grew up in New York.
Here in
Yep. Started in Greenwich Village and then
Yeah.
moved to Union Square where my mother still lives. I went to college up in Maine, Colby College up in Waterville, Maine. I have a degree in philosophy.
So you didn't really think about becoming a chef at that time yet?
I didn't actually, but my father's been in the restaurant business since before I was born. And
He was owning restaurants in Providence,
in
right?
Providence,
He had
he
some
had
restaurants.
3 restaurants in Providence. I've been working in restaurants since I was 11.
So why did you go to college and not to a culinary school right away?
Because I didn't know that I wanted to be a cook. Right before my senior year of college, I had my first fine dining experience.
That was the inspiration.
That was
to
when I
go into the field.
I really fell in love with cooking. If I could be anything, I would love to have been a professional athlete, but this does not make for a professional athlete. So
it depends. I mean, you have a wide range in between tennisman and sumo.
I think I know which one I'm closer to, but working in a kitchen was a lot like playing sports, that team aspect. Coming to work every day felt like going to practice, and then service would start, it felt like the game. And I feel like the life lessons in sports are almost the same life lessons that you can have in a kitchen. These days, after 21 years of cooking, I see myself less as like the star player and more as like the coach. I have younger chefs below me. I'm trying to bring them along and help them, teach them what we've learned over the years.
Course.
I think that for me, it's a great joy in my job to be able to walk around the 2 kitchens and talk to the younger guys, or just talk to the guys and show them stuff and interact with them and pick their brains and help them sort of see how they can pick their own brains a little bit.
Well, let's move to the cooking.
All right, yeah, let's cook.
So we are going to make some poached eggs.
Yes, we're gonna have poached eggs.
A consommé.
Sherry consommé.
Sherry consommé.
Yeah.
What is in this container?
That's baking soda.
Oh, baking soda.
Baking soda, we're gonna put that in the water because that's gonna help to peel the egg. Eggs have a fairly low pH. When they cook, they tend to grab onto the shell.
Yes.
But by adding some baking soda to the water, we raise the pH of the water and it helps the white come away from the shell.
Oh,
so
where did you learn that?
Harold McGee, the food scientist, taught me.
In between Wylie and what we do at Le Bernardin is a big difference in terms of style. However, good food is good food.
So we can just take a little bit of
And that goes into your
just
water.
go into the water, yeah. Just put some
Do you
into
put
the
salt
water.
in it or nothing?
No,
just
we
the
don't.
bake-
We
But
don't
you put
salt
quite
it.
a bit of baking soda, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Some people say, oh, you have to be careful because it's going to change it's going to make the eggs taste more sulfuric. I don't believe we're going to have a problem.
When you were in college, you graduated,
Yeah.
and then you decide after the graduation to go where?
I went right to culinary school after graduation. I knew right before my final year of college, I said, when school's over, I want to become a chef.
And then after that, what did you do?
I went to go work for Jean George. I spent about 6 years with Jean George in different places.
In different places, right?
Yep.
When you went to Las Vegas, you were sous chef.
When I went out there, I became the chef de cuisine.
The chef de cuisine for
For
Prime.
Yep.
That was a big deal because it was a big restaurant, busy.
We had so many steaks, Eric. We cooked so many steaks. We had one guy, he just cooked rare and mid-rare, and another guy to cook medium and well-done steaks. That's how many steaks we had.
Really?
2 grills, 2 big grills. You cooked the mediums and the wells, I cooked the rare and the medium.
Oh my God.
It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. It was a short experience for me.
Short experience.
Because my father called me to bring me down to 71 Clinton,
And
which was
that
that tiny little restaurant on Clinton Street.
The press was talking a lot about you and what you were doing, and 71 Clinton. I mean, it was not really a popular address to open a restaurant.
No, it was not
right?
a popular address to open it. It was a popular place to buy drugs. It was not a popular address. Yeah.
I remember very well, you had a consommé actually with a braised lamb ravioli or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's correct. They were great people to work for, and I had great opportunity, and I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, really. But I wanted to have a bigger kitchen where I could do more things.
But suddenly, when you go to WD50, you're cooking your own food, obviously, and it's totally different than what you have learned. So what happened in your mind at that time?
Well, I mean, I feel like it was an evolution. I mean, I was, again, trained classically, but I saw these people thinking a little bit differently, a little bit left, a little bit right of the middle. It wasn't classic French food. It wasn't classic European style food. I knew how to cook. I knew how to roast a chicken, how to poach an egg, but I didn't know why. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why. What's happening to an egg while it's cooking? I was looking for more answers, and so as I began to look for more answers, I needed to go outside of the industry. I began to discover that there were other food scientists out there. Hervé Thies was a scientist, and he and a group of scientists were interested in understanding these answers to these questions as well.
I mean, you went to the scientists and worked with them, or you went, because at the same time, I believe Ferran Adrià was doing the same in Spain, right?
He was, absolutely.
So Ferran Adrià was trained in conventional kitchen. One day he switched his style of cooking and he worked with scientists. He created a completely new way of cooking using science in terms of technology, in terms of ingredients.
It's information that we can all benefit from. It's not just for fine dining, it's for everybody. And that's why it's useful. Yeah, let's cook some eggs.
So we have the timer, right?
Yeah, so we have a timer. So 5, 4, 5. That's our
5, 4, 5.
So
Okay.
we're gonna drop our eggs in here. You're gonna press the yellow button.
Okay, let's go.
Vas-y.
And now we have 5 minutes and 41 seconds.
Yeah. So
you work with a scientist.
we work with a scientist right now who's a specialist in eggs, and he's helping us learn about eggs.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you also go in training in some other kitchens?
I've done some stages in my life. I staged for Marc Monod. I think people don't realize how creative he was. I remember to this day, this is the first time I saw sous vide. He had a big rotisserie. He put a matignon of ham and carrots in a bottle, and then he put halfway with beans and consommé, and he hung them in front of the rotisserie.
Cook slowly like that.
The beans were cooking in a bottle.
And then you have to break the bottle.
No, you just shake them out.
And they come out.
Yeah. Sometimes the bottle would break, which was a little scary.
Yeah.
When you're in the service and bah!
I would have never think of that.
In a very traditional kitchen, they were doing some interesting things. And it left an impression on me a long time ago.
Oh, we had 0. No, 9 seconds. Oh, is it gonna ring?
It's gonna ring, yeah.
Okay, good.
And then you press the yellow one again when it rings.
When it rings?
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
There.
Done.
Perfect.
And so
We're
then
just
you
gonna
put
go
them
right,
in ice.
right into the ice.
And because you want to obviously stop the cooking.
We want to stop the cooking. This is going to have a nice firm white, and the yolk is going to be runny.
And it's going to be easy to be peeled.
I hope so. I always recommend you do a couple extra. I think it's up to the individual to decide how deep they want to go into the process. I feel a certain responsibility to know as much about what I'm doing as possible.
The approach is very scientific, so it has to be very precise.
We're weighing things out to the gram.
You have to weigh to the gram.
We weigh things to the gram.
I mean, I still cook traditionally. I came into cooking because it was tactile, very instinctive to do so. I'm always afraid that if I go in the direction where you went, I'm going to lose that pleasure of touching the food, being connected to the food.
I think that's a misconception that people think that we're like, taking the romance out of it. We're just trying to understand things a little bit better so we can make better decisions when we cook something. And some of these pieces of equipment allow us to be very precise.
If you bring too much discipline for me in a scientific way, I think my ADD kicks and I cannot cook.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised. I mean, when you make pasta, you have to follow certain steps. When you fillet a fish, you have to follow certain steps.
The techniques.
The
basic techniques.
And at some point I just said, okay, why? Why do I have to do it this way?
And then from knowing why, you decided to cook some very original food that didn't exist before.
Well, once we had that understanding, we could then apply our creativity to that knowledge.
When you make a consommé, which is a broth, it's cloudy. The idea to clarify the consommé is to make it very clear. The way you make consommé is very different than the way I would make consommé in a classic way. In classic cooking, you do the raft.
In a classic raft, you take egg whites. If you're clarifying chicken, you can take chicken stock, you can add some chicken meat, ground chicken, into your raft. As the egg whites begin to cook, they settle on the surface in what we refer to as a raft. But in this case, what we've done is we've taken a chicken stock, some classic sherry, and we put it in a centrifuge.
In a centrifuge?
Centrifuge, yeah. It spins around,
yeah.
And in about 30 minutes, we take the consommé and the sherry and we separate, because it spins so fast that the solids go to the bottom. The problem sometimes with the raft is it has to be hot. What if you want to clarify a juice? Now we can clarify raw carrot juice and just have a different flavor.
Ah, very interesting.
So we're using equipment to do things that maybe we couldn't do before, or to understand things a little bit better, to give us opportunities. For us, that's what it's about. Just every now and then getting another thing, another idea,
piece of knowledge,
another bit of knowledge that can be applied. Yeah.
Do you want to?
Should we do some work?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So what do you want me to do? I mean,
we have to cut some shiitakes.
Okay.
And once they're steamed, we're going to dress them with a little vinegar and a little bit of sherry.
At one point, what bothered me a little bit was where the chefs were cooking for the technique,
right,
and for the wow effect, and it was not necessarily about
the taste,
the and the ingredients.
Taste is very important. Obviously, you have to start with food tasting good, and where there's sort of sky's the limit if that's where you're starting off or you're jumping off from. But food has to taste good. Equipment technology has always been a part of the kitchen. People say, oh, you have this immersion circulator, you do this weird stuff. Well, you have a food processor. Do you want us to? Yes. What's wrong with that? You want me to just throw a spear at my meal? I mean, you have to understand there's always been a relationship between the kitchen and technology. And again, one is not right and one is not wrong.
They have to cook a long time?
No, we're almost there.
Then what are we doing with those?
We're just gonna peel them.
We peel them, okay.
And then we're gonna dress them with a little bit of olive oil, which is very nice. You want me to get out of the way?
No. I have my way of doing it. So this is actually what we're doing here. It's pretty traditional in a sense.
Absolutely.
Except for the consommé where you use you say centrifuge?
The centrifuge, yep.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable.
You see, it comes out very easily.
Very easily, yeah.
Yeah, which is nice. My hope is when people come to WD-50, I just want them to say, it made me think. And I think that I hope that our legacy is that we leave the industry a little bit better than we found it. I think in talking with Eric, there very much is a dialectic because we both come from the same place. And I may have gone a little bit off this way and he may be more of a traditionalist, but Eric is equally curious as I am. So the last ingredient to our dish is tarragon.
Tarragon.
It's a tarragon oil.
So you made a tarragon.
We made a tarragon oil, and I think that the tarragon complements the sherry, the consommé very well. So as soon as that oil hits the hot broth, it's gonna aromatize.
Yes.
And it's going to add to the smells, the experience. I was fortunate enough to have people explain to me early on that as food is arriving, you begin to smell it first, you begin to then look at it. You're halfway there if someone can look at a plate and smile because they've already decided in a way that they like it. Okay, so we've cooked the eggs. Now we're just warming them back up.
So you need.
We just want to heat the egg through, and I don't want to cook the egg anymore. We're looking for like tea water. You want like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Generally speaking, that's tea water. More or less.
Hot tea water. I'm going back to the cocktail. So I was saying, yes, you have this clientele who comes to WD50, they come for the whole experience. And then you decided to open Alder. So what is the difference in between Alder and WD50?
Well, at Alder, we're trying to offer a more casual experience.
Okay.
We don't have a tasting menu. We don't take reservations right now.
So in terms of creativity, when are you creative? Do you dedicate time to creativity? Do you work in collaboration with your team?
You have to allocate time to be creative. We try to create an environment where the cooks work, where they can have ideas, where they can say, chef, I have an idea, I want to try this, I want to try that. Did you ever go to work and have Robuchon say, so what do you think?
He asked me for my opinion when I did something wrong, yes.
But I think it's nice. I think that it's nice that we can create that atmosphere, that environment where they can feel like they can contribute.
And yourself, I mean, you have 2 restaurants, you're married, you have 2 children.
Married, 2 kids.
2 kids.
Yep.
I mean, you're busy. You still find time for yourself?
Not right now.
I mean, to create potentially.
No, of course. You have to find time. You know, my mother told me something once. She said, you can't decide to be creative. She said, it doesn't work like that. So you have to be ready for when it happens.
To me, it comes as a flash, like an image or something. Is it the same for you?
Sometimes the way the light is coming through the window or something, it gives you an idea how to put food on a plate. You see the water tower and you go, I can make a beet shaped like that, it would be beautiful. And you think, well, on the plate, that might look great. It looks like a pencil, so now can we put a vegetable in a pencil sharpener? And, you know, why not, you know?
Creativity is a great motivation for chefs to advance. And I don't see cooking being exciting if we are not able to create. So we are going to plate?
Yeah. I'm just going to take some mushrooms.
Okay. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Take some celery. I think that looks nice, right? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yours looks great as well.
So I'm testing that consommé, that actually delicious.
And then maybe you want to put just a little bit of salt on top of the egg.
Yep. Well, we are going to
Should we go to the table?
Yeah, let's go to the table.
Fantastic.
So Aldo recommended with the egg, Aldo our sommelier.
Of course.
Sake, and I think you love sake too.
I love
right?
sake, yeah.
It's what you drink almost every day, like red wine.
For me, it used to be white wine, but now I've changed to sake. It
Sake.
feels, yeah, nice
I
and
like
cold.
it too.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you.
No, thank you, santé. So let's go. Let's
All right, let's go.
Oh, look at that. It's running.
See, yeah, you have a nice firm white, and you have the nice. Yeah. And then, you know, it's nice to taste the consommé on its own, but then it's nice to move that yolk inside and how it changes, you know, and it's really nice.
The flavor of the consommé.
Yeah.
Let's try. I love the sherry and even the egg yolk goes so well
with the sherry, right?
The sherry, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It almost feels creamy.
So the inspiration comes from classic cooking, and then with a twist, you made it your own.
It was definitely inspired by classic French consommes. I mean, I remember the first time early on in my career, seeing consommes with little bits of carrot and celery and turnip floating in it, and that was really it. It was about the broth. And so we wanted to do a really good broth, but we actually wanted to put some more in it, give it more garnish.
So even with modernist cuisine, you really need to have a good understanding of the basics, which is obviously the craftsmanship.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can never skip steps. You have to start with the fundamentals, the foundation. That's the important thing.
What do you think of the media and the chef's world? I know you do a lot of television.
Yeah,
you were on Premier with me on
Indeed.
HBO.
Yep, that was great.
We were playing ourselves.
It was a little funny, but it was good.
Difficult.
Yeah. I mean, it was never my goal to be on TV. I didn't become a cook so I could be on TV. I mean, that's a new thing. When you and I started cooking, that wasn't an option. As a way of expanding your exposure, I think it's very useful, letting people know where you are, that you're out there. I mean, we went through some quiet years at WD50, and it was very useful to have those opportunities on TV to help make sure that people didn't forget about us and they kept coming back to us. And I'm grateful to TV for that.
If I may, I'm going to finish my dish like that.
That's a good sign.
It was absolutely delicious.
Good, I'm glad you liked it.
Thank you for sharing the wisdom.
Thank you for having me.
Now we are going to go to the board. It's a tradition. It's dedicated to yourself and the recipe, and we are going to sign that.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We have this board dedicated to you and the recipe, of course.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
And you can sign anywhere you want.
All right.
And I'll sign somewhere too. We were here.
Thank you very much.
It was a great pleasure to have you and a great discussion.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, right?
It was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
We are done. So Wylie dish was very interesting today because he's using really traditional cuisine. However, with technology and being so precise and a little twist here and there, he has made a dish that is very conventional, a very Wylie Dufresne dish. I loved it, and I finished my dish by taking the bowl and finishing it like that. Hello, I'm Eric Ripert, host of On the Table, only on the RSRV channel. If you like my show, hit the subscribe button below and hit the thumbs up if you like my show.
Pharrell Williams here.
Hi, I'm Joy Bryant,
I'm Eric Ripert,
I'm Tom Colicchio.
I'm Dr. Frank Lipman,
the host of On the Table.
the host of Across the Board.
host of Artist Talk.
Host of Hooked Up.
Host of the show, Be Well Week, Be Well Weekend, on the RSRV channel.
It's only on RSRV.
Did you know that you can follow my show on social media sites like Facebook?
Follow us on Twitter.
If you're a fan of my show, hit the like button.
All of the above.
Share me with your friends.
Treat yourself. Check out a new episode of my show, Hooked Up.
And if you want to leave comments, feedbacks, ideas, whatever, love to hear from you. Leave a comment.
And if you don't want to miss the show, be sure to subscribe.
The one that's like down here, or is it here? Somewhere down here.
Thanks for watching the RSRV channel.
Only on YouTube. Throw caution to the wind and ask yourself what rules.